kidding me?
Episode 257.
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek, giving you the info you need to achieve mega nerd status. NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
No one listens to the radio. I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts. Podcasts are great. Radio's boring.
Yeah, oh, hello everybody. Welcome. Another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will.
And I'm T Rent.
The T-Rent is back to collect on the T-Rent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
'Cause
because let's be honest, I like that hot herbal drink. And it's time to pay the piper, folks.
I
don't even know.
I don't know, but I like the way you were going with it. You know, sometimes I like a full-bodied spiritual cleansing tea.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, the rent is due, folks.
There you go, exactly. Hey, it's the 5th, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
You know, ain't no time to play because you're coming up on delay.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got pills to pay.
I got pills to pop and and bills to pay.
Hey Trent, I don't know if this is has hit out your way, but the other day we were out doing the before school shopping, and we're supposedly a tech podcast, so I think this may kind of qualify. I don't know if it's worked its way out to or we're on the tail end of this, but certain chain restaurants like Red Robin and Olive Garden.
Red Robin.
They've started putting basically tablets on tables in these mounts, so that way you can do certain ordering yourself.
Yes. Yeah. It's the idea of there's a term for it where it's not fast food and it's not it's like casual sit down or something like that. There's a specific term for the genre, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
So the other day we were doing the back to school shopping because my school district is on an adjusted year round. So
right,
your kid basically gets 8 weeks of summer. Then it's she goes to an 8-week on, 2-week off schedule, basically.
Which is awesome because that means you get like 2 weeks off for Thanksgiving, 2 weeks off for Christmas. It's set up kind of more like real life where you just have like vacation rather than just summer, like the big broad summer.
And especially for professional parents, it really helps them to balance things out a little more.
Exactly.
It's like, well, you know, we're coming up on that 8-week summer. Time to find, okay, well, we could take advantage of this church's camp over here, and then we'll send them to a clay and crafting camp over here.
Right, exactly, yep.
And then you realize there's an entire thriving subculture of businesses that are reliant on this bedroom community, as it were.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, like that's essentially just like really expensive daycare for older kids.
Where they get to be entertained. Congrats,
right,
kiddies.
Yeah.
So we were out doing the clothes shopping, and we decided to go to the Olive Garden because Abundanza, right? You know, to use an ad campaign, they're nowhere even near anymore.
Sure.
And I saw, and they had those, but it wasn't. First of all, we got seated and nobody really explained it to me, so I just looked at it, and I have to say, after the fact, I understand what it was trying to do, and it was good because it gives you the opportunity to order like appetizers or kids' food, so that way they get started on the kids' food first, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because the sooner there's a plate of food in front of the child, the sooner they're engaged with something.
Yep. Unless you want to again use that tablet for which you can add to your bill games that they can play.
Yes, you can do that too. So I thought that was kind of genius. I know that there was a hamburger chain I went to once where you would literally from your booth pick up a phone and dial the kitchen and place your order.
Trading table.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a cool feature too. I thought it was really interesting, but yeah, that's where it becomes blatantly clear what they're trying to do when you're like, well, can I just order the drinks for the table? And everything they offer is either alcoholic or non-alcoholic fancy. You can't just order your regular water or soda through it.
Right.
Because there's a certain percentage that they have to have a real person help you so somebody can collect a tip.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
Because I'll be goddamned if I'm giving R2D2 a tip, my friend.
Well, no, and this is exactly it. Because I've taken surveys for these, for this genre of restaurant before, and that's the idea, right? Is that you're getting it quickly, so it's fast food, but that there's just enough human interaction that you feel like you're being catered to, so where it's not fast food, right? So, the Chili's, the Olive Garden, the TGI Friday, like all these things are, but yeah, that's the exact formula, right? And these tablets have allowed them to have less interaction to make it feel more casual, right? But still keep the price of like sit down dining.
Yeah, exactly. And I once I understood it, had I actually used it appropriately, it would have been perfect. I won't say anything else about the dining experience, but I will say, what is it about the concept of bottomless salad or bottomless soup that makes us order, other than the fact it's a very shallow bowl of soup, they may as well call it a Wilkins. It's very shallow. But it's just enough there to. Honestly, I kind of feel like it's if you took one of those small cups you used to be able to order like at the cafe, and then you just stretched that out, but you didn't really increase. You decreased anyway. It's spread out, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so I like I did. I'm like, yeah, give me another bowl of this zuppa toscana, my friend.
Yeah, this fagioli.
Yeah. What is it about that? It's like, are we suddenly getting a value by punishing ourselves with more food?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's why all you can eat will always be successful because all you can eat is usually all you can eat. All you should eat and all you can eat might be the same thing at like a normal restaurant when you look at prices, but in your mind you think, "Oh, baby."
Trent, I'll be
goddamned.
goddamned.
Immediately as soon as I finish, but I don't give a shit. I'm making myself 100% miserable.
There is pizza made on top of focaccia bread over there, my friend.
Yep, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Suddenly, I took you right into the line. He's like, God damn, yeah. When that pizza's on the focaccia, I can't resist.
Why? How could you?
Or as they also like to do, they like to do their own version of like chicken dumpling soup.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, I don't know what doughs of what they have thrown in there, but they are just the doughiest doughy things that nobody human ever made.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's okay.
We fully endorse this and back it completely.
It's like the pasta. Do you remember the when? And I don't know if they still have them, but I tried it and it was I almost went into like a carbohydrate cardiac arrest when Domino's made the pasta bread bowls.
Yeah.
It was like pasta inside a like a soup bread bowl.
That could be delivered to your house for $5?
Yeah, it was the most amazing thing in the world. Like, it doesn't matter. Just put it all together and feed it to me as quickly as possible.
Okay, let me understand this. It's got a high fat content, so it's going to taste really good, and it's probably got more fillers than any human needs to consume in one meal, so I'm going to feel full too.
Yeah.
And after I've gotten through that, there's still a bowl of bread.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm right there with you.
Which is basically just cake. Do you know what I mean? Less sweet cake.
Yeah, so realistically speaking, I think what we're saying is there's at least a certain class of us that really fully endorses the concept of gluttony.
Oh, we're hedonists at best.
Yeah. By the way, folks, if you want to take part in the program, you can. One of many ways. One of them is Twitter. Trent, tell them how they can do that.
Well, it's so simple, Will. People are on the Twitters. They're using them. You just use the hashtag NetHeads, and you can interact with us. You can direct the show, usually, if you got questions, even if you're listening afterwards, like on the podcast or on the YouTubes, use the hashtag NetHeads and be like, hey, Dick Fours, you forgot about this, or what about this? And then we'll get back at you.
Well, what's a dick for? That's what I want to know.
Got him.
You, why, I oughta. By the way, Trent, today is a really special day. It's August 5th that we're doing this, and I don't know about you, but the World of Kevin Smith Facebook group is on
Dude.
fire today.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that,
Yes.
even just friends of the Skuniverse are all over are posting themselves. I just saw a recent post from Ming about 6 hours ago, and then another one from Malcolm about 4 hours ago. It's going off in Red Bank, boy.
Well, first of all, I think it was revealed on Hollywood Babylon that it's officially Kevin Smith Day in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Yes.
And in order to celebrate that, he has released an army of clones.
Yep.
Is pretty much what happened. Actually, everybody that was there, and by the way, you're going to think I'm an idiot. I had the opportunity to be there, but I am not. Yeah,
Because you're a father and an adult and have responsibilities.
yeah, little things like, no, come on, now you're making the people that do go to there. Don't take that away from them, man. What's
No,
wrong with you?
I'm not. I'm just saying that you've got other shit to do.
Yeah, okay, sure. All right, fine. I'll
Yeah.
go with that.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
go with that. Never mind that I'm just lazy. But it's
Yeah, other shit to do, like sit down and talk to your friend on the internet
yeah.
at 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm real fucking busy, man. Real busy, right? Could be having fun, seeing a guy I admire get a piece of metal that unlocks an imaginary lock in the city, but no.
He's got the golden ticket.
I'm talking to some guy in Utah. No, I'm glad no. It turns out it's a good thing because my niece has brought her son home for a family visit.
Oh, cool.
So there's a big party today. So that's,
Nice.
family, my friend, family. Don't forget family first and then teamwork.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, so I'm here for that. And but it's amazing that there is first of all there's an entry in the Guinness Book of World Records for the number of people cosplaying as Jay and Silent Bob. But today
Yes.
they set a new Guinness World Record in the category. I don't know what the number is. I don't know what the tally is, but so Jay and Silent Bob cosplayers all in one place. I wonder if they had to do any type of synchronization act. Like one clap all in unison.
No, because so they did the same thing at Salt Lake Comic-Con a couple of years ago, where it was the most cosplaying characters based on comic books at one time. And they all just had to be in a defined area with people like with counters, and then separating people to be like, nope, that's not a comic book character. Yes, that is, like this, that, and the other.
Now, but you know what I think when I hear that story you're telling, Trent, now
Yeah.
I want to get into the story of one of the people that are told you don't qualify. Like all the poor
dude.
Harley Quinns that were crying.
There was there were some very angry Harley Quinns.
Right?
Very,
But I want to hear their
bunch of
backstory.
them.
I want to walk through that emotional journey with them where they discover that they're not going to be part of this.
Yeah. Yep.
See?
I know.
There's
I
a
do too.
documentary that nobody shot, my friend. Not a single
Yeah.
person got a frame of that.
I'm gonna put a pin. Just remind me to tell you about documentary later.
Documentary later. Okay, fine. I'll Twitter folk hashtag NetHeads. We'll count on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trent, we are living in so anyway, that's happening in Redback, New Jersey. Congratulations to them. Look really fun. Saw pictures of Kevin delivering donuts to the line, which, that's his thing, delivering soft, sugary goodness to the people.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that's what he's done for all of us our entire lives.
There you go. One way or another, whether in person or he was that donut underneath my feet the whole time or something. I'm sorry,
Well,
I'm probably screwing that up.
I just meant his work. Like, it's soft and sweet and fun, and might not be super good for you, but you enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was a lot smarter than I was coming up with. I'll be gosh darn. Hey, by the way, so where I was starting to transition to is I'm like we're living in a different world now, Trent. We're in a post San Diego Comic-Con world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're that's happened. So that's where we are in regards to that, and then we're also in this world where Kevin Smith has done a live UK-based Smodcast with Scott Mosier that's coming down the pike. And did this journey, then to come back to this Kevin Smith Day. I mean, there's a lot that's gone on in our little fanatical view in recent times. Although I got to say, there was nothing that really popped for me coming out of Comic-Con. but that was just me. I don't know
Well,
about you.
it's just that we live in the internet age, right? Like it's so hard um to shock us or to surprise us with anything that may not have been pre-leaked or discussed in a forum or something along those lines. Um, but I mean, it was just fun stuff to see, you know. And on top of it, like you had D23 like directly, the week prior to Comic-Con, so it's you know, it's almost like an oversaturation.
Yeah, by the way, tying into that, it turns out that there are 3 entrances into the Star Wars land, and Ryan Connolly pointed out you can install the app and you can already
Yes,
see where they will be. But
one of them is finished.
it would still really be cool if you got from if the Star Tours ride was still where it was, but then it became like a people mover instead. So when those doors close,
Yes.
instead of just shaking this thing, it's moving you along
Yeah, you
and
actually go
taking you through
along.
the adventure. And then
Yeah,
on the other end, now you're suddenly in Star Wars land. That
yeah,
would be cool.
yeah.
But let's talk about more things that nobody's doing, Trent. You know?
Agreed. Yeah, yeah. Let's solve more problems that the world doesn't have.
Exactly. That's our place in life, isn't it? Well, the only thing that I find interesting, and we're definitely chiming in late on this, but it's the fact that Marvel and Disney are keeping this Avengers Infinity War trailer under wraps.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Let me ask you, Trent. Did you in any way, shape, or form hunt out any of the pirated versions of the video?
No, I haven't seen any. Have you?
I've at least seen one, and the only thing I can say is that there's a certain costume you get to see in the new Spider-Man movie. Have you seen it yet?
Oh no, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's a costume near the end of that movie that we do get to see in the trailer. So
Yeah.
he's definitely in that, which is interesting when you think about it, considering, yeah, it's a joint venture, but like Spider-Man is just kind of like technically it's on the fringe of the
Yeah.
Marvel universe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's yeah. It is. It's this weird like it's not a Captain America. It's not an Iron Man. But it's not like Defenders either.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's this unique thing. Although I will tell you, in the movie, they really do their darndest to tie it into the continuity. I mean, it starts out in a scene because you remember that Thor and the Hulk were battling one of those sky worm thingies, and they
Yes.
ended up bringing it down inside of like central what the big station in
Grand Central Station.
Grand Central Station. They brought it down there, and this movie starts out with like the people that are dismantling that mess,
Oh. Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
they work really hard to tie it in. I mean, not to mention
Yeah.
dropping Iron Man right in the damn movie.
Yeah. Being a central figure.
Yeah. Although I've heard a lot of theories that like the next phase of the Marvel universe is going to be weighted heavily on the back of Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, I've just heard rumor of that.
That's interesting because some of the least favorite Spider-Man stories ever told are the cosmic Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
Fans do not like it, and if and that's the route that Marvel has kind of gone pretty right off the bat. Is we're going cosmic right off the bat. That's intense to try and get Spider-Man relevant in outer space.
Look at you taking it to like the next level immediately.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I don't know what I was thinking actually. It's kind of this is a weird time if you think about it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because we're coming up on the culmination of something that they have been working for like 10 years.
Yeah.
One way or another. I think after Iron Man was successful, that's kind of where things really got set in motion.
Yeah. 2008. Yeah.
Well, even though the end of Iron Man did have the Nick Fury cameo,
It did.
so they were already setting things up for a potential Avengers right there. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. They've been doing it the whole damn time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're really coming to this point where we are closing the loop on the whole Infinity Stones story, and they're going. What direction are they going to go after this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
what
yeah.
what next big story are they going to attempt to tackle?
Well, and that's where it gets interesting too, because there's certain things they still can't touch, like Galactus, which you'd think, okay, how do you top Thanos? Well, you go Galactus, right? But can't touch it. Okay, well, who are some other big bads that would have an equal purveyance that is hard to tackle and could be touch all the other properties? Well, Doctor Doom, he's off the table. Like,
Well, hold on a
and then
second
you
though.
look at
Here's something stupid I would posit, but I want to remind you now. We have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe an example of this concept already through Ego, the living planet,
right,
the Beyonder.
right.
I highly doubt Fox or anyone else has the rights to him.
Well, and I have no idea. I would love to see like an actual like spreadsheet of which properties go where, because Ego's first appearance was in the Fantastic Four. But
Well,
yet,
remember that there was there. You remember there was a Ego. God Almighty! Why is the geek flag flying so hard right now at this
How we
very
do.
moment? It's
How we
whipping.
do.
It's whipping in a non-existent breeze and wind that I need out here right now,
yeah.
Trent.
Well, it's our sigil, man. You know, it's house nerd.
Yeah, it definitely most. What does that house? What does that crest look like? By the way.
It's a mouse. It's a mouse with like a PC mouse, and then off to the side it has like a single Cheeto, and then the other side is like a soft drink straw.
Oh, very good. Okay. I like the way you put that together so quickly. Just, I was seeing like the periodic elements, but then again, Breaking Bad kind of took that.
Sure. No,
so.
yeah.
No, what I was gonna say is that there was a story that there were. Oh, that's right. It was because of Deadpool. Negasonic Teenage Warhead
Yes.
was technically a character that Marvel owned because of the wherever she originated, characterally speaking, or made her debut. And so they made a concession for Ego, the living planet, for Marvel to be able to use it. So that's the reason why that happened, Trent. Deadpool
Oh, okay.
enabled the entire second chapter of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
If my memory of things I read in the rags is right.
Sure. No, that makes sense actually. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. See.
Yeah, exactly. We also live in a post Rick and Morty world, Trent.
Dude, we do. This is true, Will.
Yeah,
We do.
it was funny. I think during the break, the unintentional break, but last weekend, something might have been put together, but instead of putting a show together, I put a bed together. I don't know. Again, I got halfway into the project, and I asked myself, why am I doing this again?
Well, I think when you told me that, I was like, I think my response was like, oh, sweet, IKEA, like that should be an easy put together. Then you shouldn't be done too long. Nope.
No.
Not
No.
even close to IKEA.
No, because I went the same route that I did with the farmhouse table. I used construction grade lumber, which means you're doing the trade off of a lot of the wood. A lot of the wood. Hold on, I think something. A lot of the wood finishing is left up to you. You're going to be doing a lot of the sanding and.
Yep, you're dealing with raw wood, so that gives you the opportunity for customization and make it however you want, but at the same time, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. Especially considering I ended up doing. I noticed that there were these large drop cuts of wood when I was making. Because for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, earlier in the week, I tweeted out that I made my daughter her first big girl bed. Somebody even called that out, but at that point it wasn't painted, so maybe I was furnishing the doghouse. You don't know, right? The proverbial doghouse, if you will.
You love those goddamn dogs, tell you what.
That's what I'm talking about. Not coming up with a Murphy bed style bookcase in here. Just glue everything down, and that way I could just pull it down, and it's like a
Pull it
single.
down, it's fine.
It's just
Yeah.
a single bed right there. I could do that. That could have been what was happening, but it wasn't. I was making my daughter a platform bed. So in that, you've got slats going across the body, so that way you're distributing the weight of the mattress across all of these supports. But I noticed in making these slats, at the end of 2 cuts, I would have pieces a decent chunk. I think it was at least 18 inches of drop wood per strip that I bought. So
Yeah.
suddenly I realized, wait a second, instead of having to do this intricate molding headboard, instead I could take the exact same design I'm working with, but instead I could put these slats in between, right? To make kind of
Sure.
a ribbed? What would you call it? Like a ribbed one? A slatted one. It's just a slatted
yeah.
headboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Woodworking, the tech podcast, where we, in all fairness, I got the plans off of the web. And I got to say, I should give credit where credit is due here. It's a website called annawhite.com, and that's where I got the plans for the farmhouse table, and I got the plans for this bed. You can get them for free, and if you do have the tools and the ability, this isn't a paid advertisement either.
Sure.
Trent's sitting over there going, wait, is there supposed to be music
I was
rolling?
like, oh shit, should I not swear during this part?
Yeah, it's okay. You're fine. But they have very simple plans for almost everything you need to do, like including one of the things that there was a miscommunication between my wife and I. So Blair got to pick the color of her bed. So it was kind of a rose petal pink color. And I overbought on the paint. So I now will end up at some point in the near future building a bookcase that we can also then in turn paint the same color as the bed so that there's something matching in the room. You know? Just
Yeah.
for consistency's sake.
Yeah.
So one thing leads to another, but I did save a little money on it, and it really was. It was very, I think, here's what I think it is, Trent. I think that there are so many things that are out of our control in this world that sometimes having these projects where I'm able to use my hands and just focus on something, and there's an end product that you can see and appreciate, I think I'm using them that way. It's kind of like an emotional credit card, if you will.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. No, I understand that. No, I do. I totally do.
Yeah, because there was a point in the project where I'm just like, I've officially hit the point in the project where I'm like, why did I do this? But I got to tell you, the other benefit is this thing is made from all wood. It's 2x4s and 2x3s or a 2x2. And, well, there's a lot of frickin' wood involved, okay, is the point. And I'll tell you one thing that I know for a fact, my child will not be moving that bed anytime soon. You know?
Well, but that's good though, because I mean, even now, the frame I have, man, I've had to go and buy 2x6s and then cut them and then make those slats like you have, because the mattress box spring combination I had was too heavy for the frame and it was bending the frame. You know, that light steel that is kind of tubed. It was anyway. No, I think that's a smart move. That's well, and on top of it, like what's the life you get out of an IKEA bed, right? It's not going to be that long, especially if you're building for a young person, out of size and out of quality. So at the end of the day, sure, you invested maybe more time than you would have, but it's time that you made it once and you're done, rather than having to put together like 3 IKEA beds before she's
Trent,
16.
You know, all I need to do.
You can repaint it if you want to. You know what I mean? You could restain it.
Exactly.
Another color.
Whether I had to shave, whether I wanted to sand it down to base wood to get some grain back and just stain it, or if I wanted to just go with another
Exactly.
color, which is the other reason we were okay with the pink, because it's like, all right, we can always paint over this. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the other thing too that I think about it is you put slightly longer legs on this thing, and it's still a decent twin bed.
Totally.
So it could very realistically become like a dorm bed, or, in the long run with some longer legs and maybe some storage underneath, it's a guest room that says, hey, we don't mind you coming over to visit, but you're not staying long.
Yeah, but
because there's one twin bed in the room. So instantly a couple is going to know one of us is sleeping on the floor.
yeah, exactly. And it dissuades people from maybe like when you've got a couple staying over and they're like, okay, well, you got to stay in the kids' room though. It dissuades them from getting a little freaky deaky, so you don't have to hear them because they're in the kids' bedroom and you're afraid you might break the bed. It's well constructed, but I don't know if we can put 2 people in here, and then and you can loosen things if you need to, so it creaks extra bad. I think you're onto something, man.
I can't believe you've taken my one. I'm just afraid of cleaning towels that I don't want to touch. That's all I have,
Oh, you definitely don't. You should never do Airbnb then.
No, not at all. No, because it would be like literally you come in and instead of like a carpeted floor and warmth, it's all like washable surfaces in the room.
Yeah.
There's the same thing on the floor.
Linoleum. Everything is linoleum.
Everything. And there's a drain in the middle of the room. So they don't know I'm a germaphobe. They're thinking it's just easier to hose the blood down the drain.
Yeah. Blood and other things.
Exactly. Oh, that took a much darker turn than I anticipated. I was just
Yeah.
sorry about that, friends. I don't know what happened.
I apologize for nothing.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, it was a project I undertook, and then you also weren't like feeling up to task last week, so
Correct.
that's why we ended up taking a break. But the one thing I will say is that Venator 2000 during the week had tweeted with hashtag NetHeads about the HD opening credits had leaked online, but that was during the week, and it just so happens that I know that if you were watching Adult Swim that Sunday night, so Sunday into Monday, they actually aired last season's finale and the April 1st, the episode 1 that's already aired. So that way when they came back on the 30th, it really was the second episode of the season. So we're now 2 episodes into this season.
Exactly.
And it turns out they are sticking with the Jerry and divorce story.
No.
In such a dark way.
Poor Jerry, man. He just wants to be a good dad. And a good husband. That's all he's ever wanted.
And for those of you that didn't see it, and don't care about it, hi, honey. Thanks for listening anyway. But I just got to say, I love the way that they handled each child's approach to coping with the divorce.
Oh, God, yes.
Right down to Morty gets an injection of muscle memory from this other gigantic arm, literally on a meat truck. And it ends up becoming a therapeutic exercise for Morty to come to terms with his parents' divorce. As literally the arm is doing all the action and attacking and killing these opponents in well, they call it a blood dome, but it's a thunder dome.
It's 2 and enter.
But the best part is that he's first just warning the guy, don't come in, you don't want to do this, you're gonna die, and then it instantly translates into why would you want this, why do you want this? Why don't you do something? Just don't stand in the driveway and accept things as is. And so he's literally going through therapy as this brutal murder is happening right in front of him. And then he's kind of into it. Also, once again, in an early series episode, we've got Rick breaking the fourth wall on us.
Yes.
At one moment of pivotal crisis, he just turns to the camera and says, we'll be right back.
I expected after these messages, we'll be right back.
I was really surprised by the quality of the episode. I know I shouldn't be, because I don't think they've ever done something to let us down content-wise to date.
No.
I think there are even some redeeming qualities of the Intergalactic Cable Part 2 in some ways.
Yeah, no, I agree, yeah.
Although I hope they maybe don't approach it this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the story was really, really interesting, and only I think the one thing that I took away from this the most is just how resolute they are that Rick really is just a bad person. I don't know why we're rooting for him, because realistically he only goes back for the kids because it becomes more of a pain in the ass having to maintain robot versions of them than it is just to have the real kids back.
Oh man, what? Well, it's interesting though because
come on, come on, Grandpa's interest in your safety is waning.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yep.
And the thing is, it just continues to give, and I haven't even looked to see if there's anything to really see in the background of some things yet. I'm just enjoying it for what it is, but it's nice. Personally, I don't see why there was a lot of angst. I kind of feel like the release schedule is right in line with what Mr. Poopy Butthole told us at the end of season 2.
Well, yeah, which has still been a faster release than has been in the past, and was still slower than what they had expected it to.
It's kind of like Venture Brothers. That seems to
Oh.
go away just enough for me to forget about it and then return.
And I looked this up recently because I had forgot that the last season of Venture Brothers aired in 2016. I thought it had been way before that.
No,
but
that's
for-
just how hard of a year and a half it's been, Trent.
I must have been, but for me, Venture Brothers, it needs. I need a new episode every week forever. I need it to never stop. It is my favorite animated show.
Maybe the reason why it has the quality it does, Trent, is because it is not on all the time.
Well,
It's just like you can't eat donuts every single day, Trent, for every meal.
Well, I mean, you can.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. No, the problem is you've got Doc Hammer and Jackson Public who so you've got two people creating the whole show. So that's the problem. That both qualifies or quantifies its quality and shows why it comes out so infrequently.
Yeah, I'll just be happy to get what we get when we get it, because they at least always deliver too. Hey, Trent, I don't know if you saw in the news this week, if we want to go ahead and kind of adhere to that whole technology thing. But there was much ado kind of about nothing because of the way the story was released, that basically I think Facebook, because, I don't know how this happens, but apparently these mega millionaire, billionaire guys somehow get into pissing matches one way or another. I don't know. Sure. I don't understand how it works. But apparently Elon Musk, mad scientist, philanthropist genius, basically the Iron Man of our time, but with questionable motives, is hold on. I don't want to sound like Alex Jones. I'm not like
Turn on the frogs gate.
By the way, did you see John Oliver's bit on that? He did a cover of Alex Jones, and the thing is that there are all these outrageous moments, right? But they're immediately followed up by some product that he's shucking and jiving to his crowd.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because that went into a commercial about water purifiers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're doing it all wrong, Trent. First of all, we got to get more controversial so that way we can get more people.
Hey, I'm up for that.
Yeah, and then after that, then we start hucking and shucking and jiving. I don't know. We start pimping for those, the people that will advertise on anything, because we're getting quality made USA products imported from Mexico for the best possible vitamins that you could buy to be your prime nethead self in life.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right?
Let's do it.
Doing it all wrong. Anyway, so Elon Musk it tells us, and I think maybe Stephen Hawking too, are trying to tell us we need to be terrified of artificial intelligence, right? They're saying the machines will uprise, in a nutshell. So then it turns out Facebook had set up social bots to interact with or to interact in order to, provide a greater level of service or whatever it is that they were doing. And these bots were chatting with each other. Well, the way it was released in the news, it sounded very terrifying, because they're like, Facebook had to shut it down because the artificial intelligence started speaking. It made its own language and started communicating in it, and we couldn't understand it.
Which is not true. They could understand it.
Yes, they could understand each contextual word. They just don't understand how the bots are understanding what the hell they're saying to themselves.
No, they could.
Because it was like, as he is me, is you, is me, you.
Yeah. Linguistically, it's essentially a patois, right? So it's using the fewest amount of words in a sequence, so that it uses less memory and just repetition. So essentially learning it, so you can say something with knowing the fewest amount of words possible.
So basically,
it was decipherable. It wasn't like they didn't know what was saying. They just created their own language to talk back and forth.
So basically, they had to take it off of line because, like, Raffle Mao. Is that it?
Yeah,
kind
of.
They just started abbreviating everything.
Yeah.
Some of the older programs were confused. They didn't understand what LOL meant.
Right.
What is that? Is it laugh out loud? Is it lots of love? Which one is it?
Well, it depends on if you're talking to my mom or not.
Yeah, well, and boy, let me tell you, I've had some personal experiences where that could be used in bad context. Sorry to hear about your father's passing, LOL.
Aw.
Yeah, that's never a message you want to see in life, nor a message you ever want to send in life, folks. Sorry.
Tell my mom that.
So, yeah, it turns out they were just speaking in a condensed fashion, but I'll tell you, that was the most terrifying 24 hours of my life between those news story coverages, because I'm just like, the machines were coming to get us. Because,
Right.
we're already giving our voice to them for free. Every time we use the Alexa or the Siri or the, Hey Google or whatever it is.
No, not every time you use it all the time. Have you ever noticed that if you've enabled that feature on your phone, all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri," or "Okay Google"?
Yeah, exactly, because it's
That
always
means
listening. We're
it's
giving them
listening all the time.
So we're already giving away so much information for seemingly cool technology and convenience. Maybe I am starting to sound like Alex Jones. My apologies. But it's just we are surrendering so much information that is there ever an expectation of privacy now, Trent?
Well, not anymore since we got rid of the net neutrality efforts that the last administration had done. So we went ahead and just sold that. So nope,
Okay,
gone.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Nope.
But it's nice to know that Facebook isn't coming to kill us too. I think that's the other point
Yet.
to take away from this one.
Yet.
Hey, Trent, I got to ask you something. I'm looking at the calendar, and I'm starting to think that you're coming up soon on the Salt Lake Comic-Con.
Yeah, dude. Coming up.
Coming
up just around the corner.
When is that bad boy?
The end of September.
Oh, okay. So you're going to start off the month with your birthday,
Well, yeah.
and then you're going to end it with your Salt Lake Comic-Con.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 21st through the 23rd.
By the way, did you see that bit of business where apparently there was a gag order related to San Diego Comic-Con that was somehow in the in relation to the Salt Lake Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con lawsuit?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I think neither party was allowed to mention each other or something. I don't know. Okay, never mind. If you didn't see it, it doesn't matter.
No,
Move
yeah,
on.
I didn't even see it.
Anything in your corner this week, man? Anything you
Oh,
wanted to talk
dude.
about?
So much stuff going on. The Nintendo 2DS XL just came out. I picked one up. I'd pre-ordered because they were kind of hard to find, as is the case with most Nintendo hardware. And I have freaking been loving it so much. Aside from it being able to play all of the regular 3DS games as just in a 2D format, which most people do anyway when they have a 3DS. Nintendo brilliantly has been porting classic hits for the 3DS. And so I've picked up like the Capcom Final Fight games, which kind of not invented, but refined the side-scrolling brawler games. Additionally, I just picked up Street Fighter Alpha 2, which only came out for SNES. And as a Sega kid, I never got to play it. I've been enjoying that. It is, man, I'm telling you, handheld gaming has its place still. And people that say it doesn't, it is only because people that say that it doesn't have a place are the people who have tried handheld gaming on their phone. Because mobile gaming and handheld gaming are so different.
Well, one has a user interface that's for the intended use. The other has a user interface that's forcing itself into. Yeah.
Exactly. And I've just enjoyed it so much. Couple that, okay, so I get this new handheld gaming system, which I love, and I couple it with my enjoyment of passive television binge watching, right? And then the fact that I in roughly 1 month have watched all of Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, you've really except knowing that you have another like big gaming system, it kind of feels like when I was a kid and my brother would be on the Atari and I was stuck playing the little dot football game. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. That said, though, the Super Street Fighter 4 is on the DS, does have online capabilities, and the graphics are pretty good. So I don't feel too slighted. I really don't.
Dude, I tell you, one of the things that I want to do, I'm glad to hear you don't feel slighted. I'm glad it's bringing you all the entertainment you want. I know the other day we were in Target when we were doing that before school shopping, and I wandered into the electronics area, and for $49.99, you can buy what looks like a mini Atari 2600 with like 100
Yes.
games on it.
Yes.
I was so tempted to get that, didn't. Then they also, I think, had a Sega-based one as well.
I have that. That was the impetus for me getting the DS, because I had so much fun playing these old games while watching television that I was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
There you are, man. And now I got to tell you, the direction I'm leaning that I really want to go, because I can do it as a quote-unquote woodworking project, but, I can, for convenience, order part of it and just have it arrive and assemble it. Well, actually, I can do all of it. I'm really tempted to build a bar top arcade cabinet and run a Raspberry Pi emulator in it to basically run all the old games.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really tempted to make that like my next project, just because I've always got a pile of shit right over here on my desk. So if instead I just had a bar top arcade sitting there,
Yeah, dude.
I would at least keep stuff off that corner. That's a good reason to do it, right?
Absolutely.
It'll lead to tidiness.
Yeah.
Trent, I'll tell you something that will not lead to tidiness, though. Okay? But I mean this in a good way.
Oh, okay.
At least I hope I mean it in a good way.
Yeah.
And that is getting yourself a subscription to Loot Crate. Trent, we've done this before. We've talked about the Loot Crate. And then we've gone to a special shot, because what I do is I show you the things that I got in my crate, right?
Oh, sounds dirty, but I like it.
I know. Hold on. Let me pop me out here, so that way now you're kind of looking up at part of me, not a part of him, part of me.
Yeah, the part of him. You.
Okay, this is going to cut part of me off, but I think we got it worked out. Here we go. So, first of all, naturally you got the t-shirt, right? Every one of them comes with a t-shirt, and with this one, it literally makes you into one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
like, it's got a
nice.
shell pattern behind the decal.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You got a loot pin. Here's a Futurama beverage holder.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers. A Bob's Burgers box. I wonder what's in there. I'll have to find out later.
Yeah.
But the best of it is, this is the best one. Speaking of Rick and Morty, because last month's theme was animation, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And this is
Like
this is the best. If you're ready for it, folks, this is the Peace Amongst Worlds Rick figure.
Peace Against World.
Peace Amongst Worlds, folks, right there. He's expressing it in full Rick fashion. Thank you, Rick.
Nice.
All you got to do, by the way, is you go to NetHeads, or you go to lootcrate.com/NetHeads. You get up to $3 off of any new subscription with the wonderful and the beautiful and the fantastic Loot Crate. If you're on an epic quest for gear, housewares, and collectibles, Loot Crate has it. It's the best surprise you know is coming. I didn't know this Rick doll was coming, this Rick's figure.
Yeah.
But now I need to find, and it even, look, the little stand is a ramp, Trent.
Yeah, just right there, little ramp.
Little ramp.
Yeah.
You know it's coming, but you never know what's in it, and it's always fun. They also offer an epic range of pop culture items, and for less than $20 a month, Trent. Come on, how many times have you just why did I just spend $20 on 2 drinks and nothing but disappointment? Instead, you could get yourself a Loot Crate. If you want to get a fancier, bigger box, they got it with Loot Crate DX. And if you want to get your pets some really cool geek gear, you can try Loot Pets. Offer expires on the 19th of every month at 9 p.m. Pacific, to be specific. So if you want to make sure that you are capturing in on all the Loot Crate hotness, and next month's crate is Kingdom is the theme. They'll have items from The Legend of Zelda, Adventure Time, and The Lord of the Rings, Trent. One lucky subscriber also wins a Mega Crate for seriously epic proportions. Like I said, you have it until the 19th at 9 p.m. Go to lootcrate.com/NetHeads. Get yourself a Loot Crate of goodness right there. There you go. That's how I do that, Trent.
So,
That's how you sandwich an ad in when no one's expecting one.
Yeah, so my question is like, with Loot Crate, if you got like a tap on the head or something, would you know that Rick was coming?
More than likely, yes. I think he would provide that courtesy. Thank you for taking it to that level.
I tried so hard to not say that during the ad. I was keeping it in.
I'm gonna keep it tight. I'm gonna keep it tight. Oh, and then just kaplowy all over the show. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Ew.
I did.
So fair enough. Anyway, yeah, I've been really tempted to. I want to do like a bar top arcade, but then if you do that, you got to make the decision if it's just going to be a 1-player or a 2-player.
Yeah, you gotta go 2-player, man.
Yeah,
No one wants to sit at the bar alone.
Well, that's true, but it's not like I have a real bar. I mean, at most, this thing is either going to be on the corner of this desk or it's going to be on the island in the kitchen.
Well, then you better make 2.
Okay. Wait, what?
Yeah, so you have a single player one for you, and then a multiplayer one for the family.
That is way more of a commitment than I'm willing to make.
Well, make another bed then.
Fair enough. No, because then I'll have 2 twin beds, and people will actually want to come and stay in a guest room eventually, right?
or you've just reached that point in your marriage, like my grandparents always had, where they never slept in the same room.
Yeah, I'll be out in the garage. It'll never enter that point because I hate my garage, but that's just me.
That's because you build beds in there.
There you go. That's because I build anything in there. Gosh darn it. And it's funny, too, because my garage gets polluted with a lot of crap that I just wind up getting my hands on. And like one thing, and we'll go out on this note, but there's a thing out in the garage, Trent. What it is an outdoor LCD television, okay?
Oh, nice.
42-inch, completely weatherproofed.
Yeah.
Better yet, it also has a touch screen capability on it. So, theoretically, you could hook this thing up to a computer, like serving stuff or whatever, and it could become a multimedia monitor outside. Okay. And I want to find a way to integrate this into the backyard so bad, because we've already got like the chill lights going on, we got furniture, we got a hammock out there. But I'm just thinking I'm never going to use it, and I should just get rid of it. What do you think? What's the over/under really here?
The thing is, though, you get it, and then if you don't use it, you move it inside.
Yeah, but then you've got a 100-pound TV that's encased in a gigantic case of death aluminum, just waiting to fall on somebody.
Well, it didn't stop our parents from having that in the house.
Well, that's true, but this is a massive. I don't know. This is.
I'm pretty sure my parents' television.
That's why they were all low to the ground, though, Trent.
Well, they were supposed to be.
Oh boy, honey, we'll just use the long the long dresser as a TV stand. That's fine. It's enough out of the reach of the kids. Don't worry about it. They won't climb the drawers. Yes, they will.
Yeah, they always do.
They always do. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I don't know what the hell we did here today, but I hope we did everything you wanted to, Trent. I know I certainly just wanted to get another one under our belt, wanted to notch one up, if you will.
I'm always looking for butt stuff, but I'll settle for tech talk instead.
I understand that, but there's some tech talk that sometimes doesn't directly involve tech, Trent.
That's true, yeah.
Like the fact that Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later just dropped on Netflix.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if you've ever been into the Wet Hot American Summer scene.
I've yet to dip my toe in that Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh man, I'm kind of shocked and bummed to hear that, but I'll just never forget. I was working at a gaming company at the time. And one of the guys I work with was really, really cool, right? And the first thing he did is, moments after meeting, he asked me, "Have you seen Wet Hot American Summer?" I said, "No." He said, "Okay, you need to see that, and then we can talk."
Yeah,
right?
Because before that, we're not friends.
Kind of, I guess. And I saw it, and I was just blown away. And I think that all of the subsequent Wet Hot American Summer items that have come out have been good in their own way. It's been enough of a way to enjoy it. I mean, part of the fun of the first movie are these people that are clearly not teenagers, supposedly portraying teenagers.
Yeah.
But then also the hubris they have, like 15 or some odd years later after the original, they make the first day of camp, which is technically a prequel to the original series, when everyone that acted in it is that much older.
Older, right? Yeah.
And then they have the balls to then make the next installment 10 years later, so 10 years after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the story they tell is really good. I really enjoyed it, and if you were into the first, then you'll enjoy the rest of it for sure. But yeah, the other thing I've been doing is I've been binging heavy, man, on getting caught up on the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's one that
nice, yeah.
That's one that regretfully, I don't want to say it knowingly fell the wayside, but it's just like I keep coming back to it, trying to get caught up, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the hell out of it when I watch it. Have you partaken of the 9-9?
I haven't, and I love the cast to no end. So eventually, I just need to make it happen.
That's just one of those things where that's one where you're just like keeping in your back pocket. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
totally.
it's still going, so we'll let it keep riding out its ride because I've got 1 month to get through all of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So tomorrow night I can watch my first episode. As it happens.
By the way, I got to ask you about that. What is it like binge watching that much Game of Thrones in such a brief period? Because I think longtime listeners will remember that binge watching the last season of Breaking Bad took you to a dark place.
Yeah. So I almost didn't finish it because of the second season, because up until the penultimate episode of the second season, nothing good, like nothing positive happens. It just makes you feel really awful. If I want to feel awful, I'll just watch the news. But after that, after that, literally every episode has something positive happen in it. I think the biggest takeaway from it is to show how formulaic the writing is and how heavy-handed the metaphor and foreshadowing is in it. When you watch it that close together, you see that there is this definite formula, and you can pick, this person's dying this episode. Oh, this person's dying next episode. Like, I'm not going to call it lazy writing, but it's definitely formulaic to the point where when you watch it back to back to back to back, you can see how everything is so following the same format, I guess.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, brother.
No, not at all. And it's fun. I've really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite television, but it's okay television.
You know what's Trent, it's not just TV.
It's HBO.
Exactly. And I got to say, we live, technologically speaking, in a weird place, because here's what happens for my Sunday, right? I look at the clock and I go, okay, it's 7 o'clock. That means Game of Thrones is on, or the stuff after Game of Thrones is on. Okay, so I look at 7 o'clock and I'm thinking, okay, Game of Thrones is aired on the East Coast. I can then go into the HBO Go app because I'm a subscriber to HBO.
Right.
And I can just go ahead and after the original airing, 1 hour later, boom. It's online.
Yep, you're ready to go.
And I think that is the smartest thing that HBO has ever done, because that's one of, in the world of TV viewing, okay, when those are the things you have the ability to complain about in life, one, be thankful. But two, also just realize that, put it in context, we're talking about TV. It's not life or death. But realistically speaking, I am over the concept of coasts when it comes to television. I think that, for example, it should just air at the same time everywhere. So if it's 8 o'clock on the East Coast, it is 5 o'clock on the West Coast, and the shows are there. And then, you know what? Just loop them bastards one after the other leading into your 11 o'clock news. That's what you do.
Totally. Yep.
Right? Just make it convenient and don't make anybody wait. So anyway, that's why I like what HBO has done, because it just time shifts my viewing a little bit. And that way I don't have to commit to things like till 8 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
Right.
Because that's never the place you want to be in, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, 10 minutes ago we were saying goodbye, so I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Sorry, I just got lost in the, boy, isn't life convenient and wonderful? We can do so much with so little now, Trent.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful world. Anyway, folks, until next time, my name is Will.
And I'm Trent.
You can follow him at a part of him. I'm at NetheadWW. The show is NetHeads on air, and we'll be back
soon.
This This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off.
I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it.
NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.
I just played all of that stuff way too quiet, I think.
Oh, it was good on my end.
Well, but you're not the final end.
Yeah, I'm not post.
You're not the
I'm
final
free.
end, Trent, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. You're not the final end.
Right. Yeah.
We have NetHeads, we have many ends, Trent.
Well, and as Everlast told us, sometimes you get consumed by the ends.
Well, not a whole lot of consumption going on these ends, I'll tell you what.
Touche.
Touche, my friend.